Good afternoon, everyone. A very warm welcome to you all. Like we do every week, I think now we have some regular learners. I would respectfully call all of us learners over here. And I can see some familiar names as well. So, welcome you all. I am Priyanka Mukherjee from Cambridge. And as you know, that endeavor that Cambridge has always reaffirmed its faith on is the desire to inculcate the search of excellence, be it research, be it any other way we can assist learners, assist teachers. And although we have a legacy of hundreds of years and presence in 170 countries, what really drives us essentially is the amount of impact that we can create in the lives of learners and teachers. And through teachers, I think the whole impact percolates down to the learners as well. And this persistent effort is what has led us to create a platform like Teachers of Tomorrow. I hope some of you have had the chance to look at the platform as well. If you have not had that chance, I would request all of you to take out a little bit of time and look at the platform. This platform basically is a fertile ground for teachers to connect with each other, interact with each other, learn from each other. And as you know, these weekly webinars provide us that opportunity to focus not only on the pedagogical aspect, but also to focus on the implementation at the ground level of that learning. To that effect, I'm extremely happy to have with us Alka Pandey with close to 4 decades of experience, including 15 years as the founding principal of Cambridge International Schools. She has completed the prestigious international study program at Cambridge University and certification in school management and leadership from Harvard Business School. Her repertoire as an educationist is exemplary. And I think that Alka's insight are extremely crucial for a topic like building resilience in school structure for teachers and students. So without further ado, Alka, the floor is all yours and can't wait to imbibe the insights from your end.
Thank you so much, Priyanka. So thank you very much for the generous words you have used to introduce me. And I'm happy to always be a learner, as you rightly said at the start of the session. And I think we learners grow together as educators when we share our learning continuously. And for that purpose, TOT is doing an excellent job. Thank you so much for creating that platform for all of us. So I now speak to the attendees here who have taken out precious time from their busy schedules. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining me today for this webinar on resilience. And today's webinar is actually kind of an extension of the very first few webinars we had. And one of them was on resilience, which I had presented. And in our previous session, we explored what resilience means for students and why is it so crucial in today's fast-changing world. But in this session, we'll focus on how the school ecosystem together can create a supporting culture for resilience, and not just for the students, but also for the teachers. We are all teachers here. We have gathered here together. So we know that how crucial it is for us also with the kind of workload and the stress, not only just related to our job, but as adult human being, handling so many other responsibility, how crucial it is for us also to foster resilience in ourselves. And especially we will be focusing on a little bit of how to bring in practical strategies in the ecosystem so that our teenagers who are going through a crucial phase as they grow physically and are, have the stresses of not just academic performances in these years, but also the societal pressures around them. So talking about why we are here today, when we talk about building resilience, it's not something about helping students to get through tough times like we generally believe. Though they are facing a challenge, let's help them get through it. It's about fostering in the complete environment where both teachers and students are empowered to adapt through any kind of challenges or changes which happen around them and grow and thrive. And no matter the challenges, let's see how we can develop that so that not only just for our students and teachers, but the staff who work around in the school or even our leadership and management, we create a conducive environment for all of them together. So giving you a little bit of time about what this session is going to be about. We will explore and dive into what is resilience, importance of resilience in school ecosystem. So it's the ability to bounce back, like we generally say, from setbacks and adapt to any changes which are happening around us. And it's an essential skill, especially in today's world where challenges come in many forms, like academic pressures for students, even workload pressures for the teachers. There are so many social issues happening around us, and a lot of rapid technological changes which we are coming, and even our students are facing, and as teachers, like the AI coming into the picture, into the classroom. So these are small and big challenges which we keep facing. And resilience is often confused with, being persistent and perseverance. But whereas resilience is about moving forward in spite of the changes, perseverance is about choosing some targets, focusing on your aims, and working hard and moving towards those goals. But resilience is the ability to move beyond those hurdles and challenges which we face every. So just quick recap of what we had talked about in the earlier webinar, that what is resilience. It's a skill which encompasses many other skills, like optimism, self-belief, and a very simple statement about what resilience is. So as you can see, the ability to bounce back from challenges and adapt to changes. So giving you a little bit time, some flexibility, adaptability, problem solving skills, having emotional strength and regulation, a social support structure around us, a little bit of sense of humor. So all these come together to build the skill of resilience. So today we'll explore how we together, along with our students, we the teachers, and create a system in partnership with our parents also, to have an ecosystem which fosters resilience. So creating a positive climate in the complete school system. So we create a safe school environment for our student. And what does a safe school environment mean? What does it mean to have a secure environment where the student feel valued, they feel secure, they feel that there are people around them where they can go and share their small or big challenges. So a resilient school ecosystem not only just helps the school as a community, but it prepares for everybody who's part of the community to thrive amid any kind of challenges. And what better examples than we had in the previous years of the COVID times, when we all came together as a community, and especially schools, when we supported the teachers, the school management, the parents, the students, all came together to rise above the challenge which we all were facing. And if we talk about historically, that there may not have been so many challenges in history in the past generations which our students are facing. No, there were many challenges through different generations, through different years. But what is missing now is that we are not modeling resilience enough. We are moving very fast through the everyday goals, or through, we are looking at, especially from students' point of view and the teacher's point of view, we are looking at creating successes and celebrating successes. We are not demonstrating resilience as a quality where failures are taken as moving forward and supporting not only just the students, our parents also, and our teachers also. So this is how do we come together to build this kind of environment for our student, is what we will look at. So when we look at how do we create this, create a value and include it in our mission and vision value. And even if it's not there, at least display it around for the students and even the teachers to just keep continuing to focus on the quotes which are there, the pictures which are there, which talk about moving ahead in challenging situation, talking about a growth mindset. So visible displays around the students also help them and create a culture of resilience. And resilience as a value is then always at the forefront for the students, because there are constant reminders around. And of course, the teachers, the adults in the students, school environment, the staff members who are around, if they model resilience, talk about challenging time, with thoughtful discussion around what is the way forward, all those are small yet very powerful modeling. So think of any situation where a teacher walks into a classroom and there is a behavioral issue going on, the students are not in control, or they're in a different kind of mood, or there is a technical challenge which has happened, the smart board is not working, or the papers are not there and it's an examination situation. But the teachers quietly models resilience, looks at the challenge, look at the alternative ways of handling the situation. And what better way to model resilience than a teacher showing calmness in face of adversity. And no textbook can probably teach the students this quality than the teachers and the adults modeling it for them. So teachers can model resilience, even the leaders can model, discuss openly the challenges. How many times as parents, as teachers, as any adult, do we talk to the students about the challenges or hurdles or setbacks we have faced in our growing years? We always talk about what we have attained. So if we start talking about those years when everybody has to go through certain setbacks, and how did we overcome those, how did we design a strategy to overcome those, all that is positive modeling for our students. Something related to how can we create certain kind of setups in our school. So having a flexible layout, it matters, a physical setup. You can create flexible spaces. I've seen schools where we have small corners outside classroom where students come out and sit and chat. Going back to our days, we had sitting under the tree during the lunchtime or during the playtime on the boundaries of the schools, where we would just small boundaries where we could sit and have your lunch breaks and chat with each other. So creating certain flexible spaces where teachers get time to interact with each other, or have very quiet meaningful spaces where they have to go and do some research work, they want to try out a problem on their own in a quiet corner in the classroom. So it empowers, such spaces empower both the students and the teachers, because teachers, if they feel the need, can immediately set up the students as per their learning requirements. So these kind of flexible spaces are something which helps the students as well as the teachers. Calm zones, meditative zones, collaborative corners. So all of these can be set up even in our present scenarios in the school system. So we have to use them effectively also. Just the setups are not enough. We have to continuously utilize them and give the students the freedom to move to such spaces when they require it, and integrate it into your classroom situations. So bring in collaborative discussion work during a project or a classroom teaching. Give them time to sit together and solve challenging problems together. So all of these can be done. So let's move back to those who can and bring the changes of such kind in the school environment, and those are the teachers. So there's a quote which I'm sharing here with you all. It's a quote from a research work of Mansfield. It talks about importance of teachers' resilience for student success. So teachers are the backbone. We all know, we call them the pillars of the school system. They are the backbone of the school. But for a resilient school, definitely the teachers are the spine of building that resilience. And according to this research, there are various other research available online if we search for how to bring in resilience in an ecosystem. But this is a research which talks about that promoting, if you want to bring efficient learning for students, teachers must possess the resilient skills. And resilient teachers are better equipped to create a learning environment that supports students' resilience also. So like I said earlier, if they can model resilience, it's a much more effective way than fostering it through different other strategies. And when teachers practice resilience, such as their own self-care, taking time out for themselves, indulging in professional development, they not only protect their own well-being, but also serve as the model for the students. So this is a key factor. We are identifying it and we know that. And just having a look at what are the challenges teachers face in the classroom, or how do we develop resilience? What kind of social or ecological change or approach as teachers we can bring, not only for the students, but right now for teachers, for ourselves? So how can we bring in the resilient component in the school ecosystem? So a little bit of time to have some sharing from you all also. Please share that. What do you think are the challenges which you face as teachers in a professional journey, or in an everyday classroom? Small challenges, big challenges, what are those? So just becoming a little focused on our challenges. They are numerous. I know I've been a teacher for a long time. So looking forward to hearing from you in the chat.
So Alka, first one is less focus by the students.
Okay.
Second is workload, building connections,
Right.
less attention span of students, discipline issues.
Management, behavioral problems which we have to manage. Workload, we are not talking of workload here. Sometimes it seems so immanageable, the stress of managing so many tasks which are allocated to the students. So yes, thank you, Priyanka, for reading them out for me. So yes, these are the challenges which our teachers face on a regular basis. And these are various, like, to put it together, behavior management, heavy workload, coping strategies have to be built for us within ourselves that allow us to navigate these demands effectively. So there can be no magic wand which will give us solutions for this, but bringing in resilience and fostering resilience in ourselves as teachers and also for our peers, our colleagues, is very important. So it's not just an individual strength, it is shaped by the environment. And schools play a very significant role in supporting teacher resilience. We can together as group look at what are the tasks given to us, how can we support each other, what kind of workload is manageable. Sometimes, focusing on professional development into key areas where we think we need to bring in some certain expertise, that so many times you have to create worksheets or question papers, and we are struggling with the technical challenges. So would taking a course on how to handle words or Microsoft applications, would it bring us a little more relief in terms of moving forward much easily through these kind of work tasks? So how do we do that? How to manage an Excel data instead of writing a report on papers? So all these sometimes professional development skills, when we focus on how we can manage our workload much more effectively. So that is self-care, looking at our own professional development, which are the areas which need a little improvement. How can I enable or enrich and empower myself with more classroom thinking strategies or behavioral management strategies? So self-care is also important for us teachers, and supporting each other, of course. And for an example, a school which has a system of giving mentors to new teachers who are joining a school, that school has a big, better record of retention of teachers. Because teachers, when they join a new system, even though they might have a very strong background in education or an experience from other schools, culture and the demands and expectations in a new ecosystem is different. And if the school does not have a mentoring program, they grapple through, they feel lost. Every small task which comes to them is new, and then they don't know the format of handling it, and the workload is multifold for them compared to those who are already working. So creating a sympathetic, supportive environment through giving them mentorship is also something which works, and there is evidence that it helps support and build resilience in the school. And of course, it seems that indulging in a little bit of self-care as teachers, we don't have time. That's the regular response which comes from the teacher. But taking mindful rest, going in for a little bit of meditation time, putting it in your schedule in the evenings or early morning, going on for very small walks, exercises, all that helps you remain mentally fit and emotionally strong also. So these are some coping strategies which we need to indulge, not only for our individual self, but to support our colleagues also. So this is how we contribute to building a supportive ecosystem for resilience, bringing resilience in our schools. So these are something which I wanted to share with you: self-care, emotional intelligence, reflection time. So many times we look at a day which has been very demanding, and you feel that you may not have been able to meet much of the deadlines. But if you take a little reflection, think what went well for you. It brings, and then you can focus on, there might be many points and areas or highlights in the day which you might have missed because of there were many other stresses. So giving reflection time to yourself while driving back or while as you reach home is also something important. But because you are looking at not only just what did not go well, which adds to the stress, you're also looking at what went well and what were the highs of the day for you. Sometimes reflective journal is something which works. So at the end of the week, not probably every day, you write what went well for you. What did you achieve throughout the week? What were the high points? What else you can do to continue to move forward to, make yourself stronger as a teacher, as a professional, or as an individual human being. So reflection time is something which is very, very important. So now a question time again. So we have had a little discussion around the physical layout, the ambience the schools can create, the classroom strategies. So that was about the school ecosystem. And we spoke about the teachers, a little. I gave you a little bit of, strategies on how we can make ourselves emotionally more resilient. So now it's time for you all to contribute. How do you think schools help teachers build their own resilience in such a demanding profession? So waiting for your responses.
Team building activities.
Wonderful, yes. having some team building activities. We celebrate Teachers Day. We have, some annual days where actually the task is there for us to, meet certain kind of presentations, prepare our students, but we bond together when we have that camaraderie behind the scenes preparing teachers. So yes, team building is wonderful. Anything else?
Creating an appreciation wall,
Yes.
then awareness of professional development.
Absolutely. When schools support teachers' professional development and peers support each other's professional development. And here, Priyanka, I would like to emphasize that professional development is not always about undergoing a official course and getting a certificate. Professional development is what we are doing right now, coming together for a conversation and specifically focusing on certain areas which help us, be better professional as a teacher. So together as a team, we can come together, discuss areas, challenges. When the teachers had shared earlier that there are behavioral problems, time management problems. So as a group, we come together. As a team, we come together and discuss, and that also helps build the resilience skills.
Some
So
wonderful responses are pouring in. Sorry to interrupt you, Alka.
thank you so
Uh,
much.
there's
Yes.
so much of responses coming about encouraging their peers, professional development, then meditation, yoga, and collaboration. Uh, Sometimes letting the class being led by students, fostering a growth mindset. Very interesting. So I think we have a plethora of responses there, Alka.
Good. And you know what we do when we come together, we have come together for half an hour of, brainstorming on an area which we feel is important, building resilience, a school which is resilient and has a culture of fostering resilience. And when we together are looking, we are again mindful and conscious of this we need to do in a focused manner when we go back to our professional day-to-day life. So yes, today's brainstorming, I'm hoping that it will help you again focus back on how we can utilize the existing school environment, existing colleagues, existing system to foster resilience. So thank you for all your responses. And I think you had already pre-guessed what I was going to talk about. Yes, professional development, team building through emotional support, collaborative teacher culture, and of course, like you said, meditation, yoga, exercises, walks, self-care strategies for the teachers. And yes, as a school, not just, I'm not talking, when I say school, I'm not just talking of a higher leadership or a management. We are talking about the whole system. As a school, we must prioritize professional development that focuses on building resilience, right? So collaborative teacher culture where teachers support and learn from each other. So coming together and that lesson planning, question paper planning, so helping each other will, of course, support each other through their phases of challenging time, and also help reduce stress and therefore add to building resilience. So
We
now
have
when,
wonderful, sorry.
yes, go ahead. Yes.
Yeah, I know we are cognizant of time, but the responses that have come in, I would like to share with you at a later point of time. Just
Sure, sure.
wonderful responses here.
Wonderful. And I'm sure that we can come back and read them again, right? So, because these
Yes.
are something valuable sharing which is happening, and each one of us would like to go through and, put it into our, I call it a teacher's toolkit. So, wherever we need, we can take out the, a toolkit of resilience and start using it from the plethora of responses which are there. So, yes. So if teachers are resilient, and we know how important role they play, when we say they are the backbone of building resilient school culture, so fostering resilience in teen learners is very, very important because teenagers face a unique emotional challenges, and supporting them in this resilience journey is very, very important for them. So they are undergoing physical changes and development. There is a pressure of academic success for them, especially in the high stake examinations which keep coming, the career options which the parents or the teachers or the society expects from them. So this is a very, very critical period for them. And what is the key ingredient? It's well-being. It's the necessary skill for coping with any kind of challenge. It's not just with the academic setup with which they are, the journey is taking them through. It is going to help them. The resilience skill is going to help them throughout their life. So because they have to learn to bounce back and to bounce forward also. So if we look at that, how does it help them? That it's very, very important, attribute which must be there, because it changes a negative outcome to a positive outcome, and we are aware of that. We have personally, when we look at small stresses, moments when we were stressing about a challenge or a deadline or something very big, or loss has happened to us, or we are anticipating certain kind of challenge which is going to be a very big hurdle for you in a professional level. We all stress so much about it, right? And instead of thinking about the outcome of how we can change it, how can we can go beyond, how can we move forward in spite of those adverse circumstances. So yes, so practical classroom strategies we look forward to. And if we look at what could be these practical strategies, so just small example, when we ask our students to sit in groups, and say, okay, let's solve the problem, maths problems, or a science project together. So those who don't even have an idea on how to start handling that research question, or from where to get the resources, if we put them into group, there are other students who have certain ideas, and those students may not know how to build up a certain resources and how to develop a certain ideas, and then the other group of students are putting them together. So problem solving activities can be given to them. As it came in the responses, growth mindset, encouragement, that yet you are not there, but we all will be there. So helping students understand that failure is just a part of the journey, and without failure, the learning growth will never happen. So giving them a growth mindset, encouraging them to think about it, and that all this adds to emotional literacy, helping them understand that shying away from facing failures will not be the solution, helping them to understand, accept the feelings, emotional struggles they are going through, and then recognizing them and moving beyond it is called emotional literacy. So those coping strategies are also something which we have to build in our students directly and indirectly. So how do we do that? A lot of role playing scenarios we can give them. It could be about empathies, different situations, what happened when you face certain situation in your growing years. So sharing of some examples, or sometimes it could be an abstract situation which could be given, which is immediately non relatable to somebody specific in the classroom, but talking about situations that someone is being bullied, or taking your own example in your growing years as a teacher and talking about how you handled it, or how would you be handling if you were in a certain situations. So empathetic role playing scenarios can be given. Also, if you are talking about, say, teaching a history lesson or a literature lesson, you talk about, let's look at how this character is going through certain stressful or adverse circumstances and challenges again and again repeatedly, and how they have managed to move past them, how have they managed to overcome these. So we can have those kind of examples, discussions. Of course, journaling, like I said, for teachers, for students also, it's very important for them to take cognizance of what was going well in spite of a not so wonderful day which they thought was not a good day for them. So what went well, focusing on something good which happened throughout the day. How did it happen? How did they manage to neglect it? Why did they become overwhelmed with the stressful part and not look at what was good happening around them? So helping them to focus on the challenges also, or something which they have missed, and the good parts of the daily student routine. Also going back and discussing individually, maybe, or in a group, that looking at the journey of what they have written in the journals, not maybe sharing, but were they able to make progress, so they also know that where they were 5 days back or 1 month back, and how they have been able to make progress in spite of certain situations which they felt at that moment of time were unsurmountable. So journaling is also very helpful for building resilience in our students. Creating buddy systems. We all are social beings, right? And social network provides a very, very strong connection to our every one of us. We are all human beings who value social relationships and connections. So buddy systems can be created because it gives them a safety net, that they have somebody to talk to somebody to speak to. Group collaboration opportunities, I've already spoken about it. You can bring it in your present current lessons which you will be delivering, or you can create a collaborative opportunity outside your regular teaching. And creating situations, talk areas around building empathy and peer understanding. Talking about looking at somebody else's perspective is something which we can also look at. So quickly, because I know I'm cognizant of the time and we need to go, interact with each other on the question, and also question answers also. So it's difficult to quantify resilience. We all know that it's a quality, it's an attribute. But can we do that? How do we see that if we are creating an ecosystem, is it working for us or not? How much have we contributed? Has it made any impact on our students? How have they moved forward in building these resilience qualities? So, yes, it's a slippery concept, it's fluid, but it can be defined as, advancing despite adversity. So I've created a quick areas, where the resilience domain is kind of, covered with the necessary skills which come around it. Because as we said, it's the capability to bounce back. It's a life skill. And all of this, staying composed, calm in difficult situation, moving forward, making efforts, and it's that tenacity in spite of the challenges, collaborating, brainstorming, or even sometimes individually looking at the situation and having the grit to move forward, giving students vision and goal, that something which is achievable yet progressive challenges are there in the goals. So if we make the journey of the student attainable yet challenging, so that they know that they are moving forward, also builds the resilience. Of course, mental and physical health, especially for our teenagers, is very, very important. And reasoning, because sometimes we are stressed, but we do not look at, is this such a big challenge which we are looking at, or what is the outcome? Can we neglect this or keep it aside, park it, and move beyond it? So helping reason out the situations and the adverse circumstances also helps build resilience. And of course, supporting our students, and especially teen students, is not possible without building a trust relation partnership with our parents. So educating parents about resilience is important. So they don't know how to handle those teen years, and we can provide them through workshops, the language which we are using in the classroom, the efforts which we are having in the school, so that the parents also are able to support it and speak the same language at home. So there is a consistency between the home and school environment. And of course, keeping the channel of communication open, understanding what difficulties or what environment the child faces at home, what kind of mood journey the child is having at home, and then helping the students in the school also to move forward from those challenges. So of course, going back to how do we build a resilient schools, quick takeaways. So it is very important that it can sometimes be seen that it may not be working just putting the posters around, or we can't measure it because we cannot quantify or measure it. Is it not important? It definitely is. And how do we do that? We have already discussed, by involving the parents, by creating a system throughout the school, by modeling positive ways of handling stresses as a teacher. So creating a complete culture around it. So building resilient school starts with the culture, an environment that nurtures growth, encourages learning from failure, and supports everyone in the community. And we, all students and teachers, need to be feel empowered to continue forward with on the journey of developing resilience. And therefore, it is important for the teachers also to take care of themselves before they start taking care of the students. So looking forward to question and answer now. But before that, also, I would like your inputs on, have you ever shared inspirational stories with your students to, get them inspired? That we have this movie, which is a documentary on the journey of Malala. And we all know that how, as 15 years of age, a bullet went through her head. And after that, how she has created history by being a role model and the youngest recipient of the Nobel Peace Prize. So sharing sometimes the inspirational journeys of very, very challenging situations, how the children of that age has come out of such difficult circumstances and created a name and have an impact on the society. Sometimes such stories also help our students understand that it is important to be resilient. And for the teachers, yes, there's something which I like and I refer to very often. There is this breakthrough 27 tools for converting adversity into action. Christian Muir has done a research and given us very tangible strategies to work on to build resilience in the environment. And yes, time for questions. And also, I would wish you to share some of the strategies which you practice, knowingly or unknowingly, in a conscious manner, to build a culture in the school or model for your students resilience, and thus support their journey to become resilient students. So yes.
Thank you so much. I think, Alka, I think that I want to share today's responses and chat with you because some really fabulous ideas have been generated as we speak. So thank you so much, Alka. I think this is just so heartening to see. Requesting all of you to share the questions, and I will be sharing them with Alka. I'll start with the first question. That is, you mentioned mindfulness. Is it possible to inculcate mindfulness in a regular classroom situation?
So when we talk about mindfulness, it is about focusing consciously on, like we say, reflection. Mindfulness can also be an extension of reflection, that what is working for us, what is not working for us. How do we find out, strategies from moving forward on areas where we are stuck? So it doesn't mean that you have to bring it as a, isolated activity into a classroom. Sometimes when we are in the instructional mode as teachers or having some kind of conversation, just focusing, stopping and reflecting is also mindfulness. So subconsciously looking at challenges and what is going well also is mindfulness. So we are very critical so many times in evaluating a situation. So mindfully focusing on what goes well and what can be done better and how could be mindfulness, and small questions can be included into the classroom at certain points in a regular lesson.
Alka, next question. I think we know the answer to it. Nonetheless, I would like to hear your response. How important it is to balance a teacher's personal growth with students' welfare?
I would say the balance would come automatically. It's important when we take personal growth. I'm looking at it as from a professional point of view, that we are talking about professional growth. And professional growth, it depends on how do we measure it. Do we measure it in terms of certificates which we have achieved, or the accolades which we have got, or in terms of measurements of the success of our students? And coming back to success of our students, is success related to just academic scores and academic accolades, or how the students enjoy coming to school, interacting, taking part in everyday lesson? So it's not difficult to balance that, provided that we do take care of ourselves and model it to the students, that there are challenging situations, I need to breathe in and out, and let's look at a strategy together. What's not working today? The lesson is not going well for you all. I don't have everybody's attention. So show your challenges to your students, also share it with them, and that is also effective modeling, and that brings the balance back to you, that you are taking feedback from your student, and that adds to the professional development part to it. This is a very, what do you say, a very generic answer, but it can be balanced, yes.
I think the accolades are pouring in as we speak for the session. How important it was, how urgent it was. Having said that, let's quickly take on a few more questions. Nowadays, parents are too demanding, and this creates additional pressure on students and teachers. How to cope with this?
One is, helping them understand from the very beginning that we are all together in supporting their child, our child, to achieve success in life. It's not just about academic success. So helping the children understand, the parents understand, that is very important. And that starts with establishing a relationship of trust. And a lot of sharing needs to happen. Showing that we are able to take the criticism is also important, because parents sometimes feel that we are always defensive when they give certain kind of feedback. So starting from the point of establishing a relationship of trust, and of course drawing boundaries is also important. So it doesn't mean that taking feedback means that everything which the parent is sharing or demanding is accepted. So setting school boundaries in terms of parent expectations and interference is important, and one can have policies around it, but continue to share and take feedback in the positive manner.
Thank you so much, Alka. Next question. How can we ensure that students are focused when we all know that due to the hectic schedule, how they are tired, worn out at the end of the day? How do we ensure focus in such a situation?
So the first part of is, action plan which you are asking is already there, because first part is recognizing that they need to get focus, and also accepting the fact that they feel tired. They are also human beings. We as teachers understand that from morning till evening, when we had under workload pressure, continuing to deliver classes, it's something similar situation for our students. They are in a classroom demanding situations where teachers demand discipline, their attention, their focus, and a human brain is not wired to be focused all the time for 7-8 hours. And also we have to understand that they are in a social setup of similar age group, so they need to talk, interact. So to get the focus, you have to give them a little freedom to get defocused for a few minutes in a classroom, and that can be included as a part of the curriculum. So giving them collaborative opportunities to talk and discuss on projects, instead of teacher giving the trying to finish the curriculum by having the students give full attention to her for a full 30-40 minutes. You can bring in collaborative talk discussions point, help them talk, help them have a little laugh, create a little humors in the classroom during situations which might be a little personal also, that, oh, I forgot this thing to do today, or you all are not paying attention and I'm feeling a little demoralized, so give me a hands up that you are going to focus. So giving them a little planned focused defocusing points in the classroom, so that you get their full focus during the time they are paying attention. So instead of letting things go in hand, or them sitting in their places and showing that they are focused where the actual focus is not there, their little bit of me time for them and socializing time for them, which are planned activities of a curriculum, like we call think, pair, share, group discussions, sitting in a corner and researching and going through problem solving of some maths or history projects together, can bring the focus back.
Thank you, Alka. Just one last question, although I'm tempted to take all of them and it might go on for a couple of hours, I feel. But how soon can we start inculcating resilience in students? Can we start as early as grade 3 and 4?
I would ask you, yes, soon, when we talk in terms of, age-wise, at any age, even in pre-primary, So helping them understand emotional regulation, controlling that is a part of building resilience. Modeling, when sometimes we teach our children, oh, you've fallen back, let's stand up, brush our knees and start walking and running again. These are small pains. You will forget those aches in a few minutes. It is a part of resilience development. So yes, modeling, supporting, helping them understand that, small challenges or big challenges are part of their journey, and handling emotional ups and downs. So these can be brought in at any level, and at your level, wherever you are, with whichever age group you are in your journey as a teacher or as a parent or as an adult around young children, we can start focusing today that which are some mindful, focused, conscious strategies which I will start adopting in my school environment and in my environment where I'm living. So I think we can all focus and take this back as 3-4 strategies which I'm going to immediately start adapting in my school from today onwards.
Thank you so much, Alka. I think I genuinely need to share the feedback with you, the way that accolades are pouring in relentlessly. And wonderful understanding, empathy for the self, for the learners, and for the environment around. I think that really emerged out of the discussion, along with addressing the key pain points and how to move forward from there. How we spoke about self-management, self-enrichment, and self-care. I think that really stood out for me in today's session. And thank you so much, Alka, for sharing your insights and your experience, and giving tips that can actually have a lot of practical resonance. And thank you, audience, for joining in, for your patience, for your resilience in trying to always keep a consistent learning curve alive, because I see that week on week I have very familiar faces, not faces at least, familiar names popping up in the chat. So wonderful that you have shown this much resilience in trying to maintain your learning curve. Thank you everyone for joining in. I think we have extended, but I'm so glad we did, and we shared so much of insights and inputs from each other. Thank you for joining in, and thank you, Alka. It was such a wonderful session. Thank you so much.
Priyanka, thank you all the participants for the wonderful insights you have shared. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a good evening, everyone.